Hello my dear friends, I hope you guys are doing great. In today's video, let's talk about parenting. Many of us who came from other countries, like in my case, we're immigrants, we have a different way of raising our children. Some of which comes from the way we were raised, the way we looked at our own parents and how they treated us, and sometimes an extended family system. We have seen uncles and aunties and other family members or relatives who dealt with their children. So our source of information tends to come from those experiences that we have accumulated over the years since our childhood. Therefore, sometimes when we come to the Western countries and then we see the way parenting is done here, it's a little bit different from back home. Something that I often share with parents who are immigrant like myself, I tell them that, sometimes there are good things about our own culture that we can still keep it the way we parent our children, but there are some really good things that we can learn from Western culture, the way they deal with their parents. Now, I don't know if you know a lot of differences, but for the most part, and generally speaking, the way that parenting is done in Eastern countries, it tends to be more of a parent as authority figures and children obeying their parents for the most part. And I say that in a general term. There are variation, there are differences, but just for the most part, that is what is categorized as authoritarian parenting. And for the most part in the West, the method that seems to be working well is more of authoritative parenting, or even sometimes you might come across permissive parenting. That is I shared in previous videos as well. Permissive parenting is that you allow your child to have more decision making in their life than you do, or in some cases maybe equally to you, but they do a lot of things on their own. And authoritative is that you're holding your child responsible for their actions when you have to. Other times you allow them to make independent decisions for themselves. Now, this is probably a very simplistic way of looking at this quite broad and sometimes even complex way of parenting. But just for the sake of video, because I usually make my videos within 5 or 7 minutes, so I'm not going to go into great detail. However, if you have any questions, please feel free to write it in the comment section below, and I can share more of my thoughts about these type of parenting styles. So going back to the immigrant parent, that one thing that they can help their children to feel that they're also not only they're asked to obey, which sometimes or most of the time we encourage children to be that way, but they also feel that they're also included as an individual and that they're accepted and they're even invited for sharing their ideas and opinions. So sometimes maybe it can be helpful to, if there is a situation, let's use an example of making your bed, and you have a conflict over that and you want the child to have a say in that. And one way probably to look at that is that, hey, I would like you to tell me that I normally would like you to do, as soon as you wake up, I would like you to make your bed, but then once you're inviting the child to have a say in that, you can probably ask, when is the best time that you can do that? I would like you to do this, and I'm just asking when would be a good time, or when you can, maybe not a good time, but when you can do that, I would like you to tell me that, and then holding them accountable towards that action. That can be one way, and maybe the easier way, which I as a parent also found it a little bit more helpful, knowing that the background that we come from is more about, I want you to do this, and no, don't ask me any questions because I said so, or I'm your parent. This approach that I often use is giving options. When you give your child options, you still have more of authority in that decision making, or you have more power in that decision making, but it's still you allow them some room for independent decision making. In that way, for example, you can say that, oh, I would like you to, option 1, you can make your bed every morning, or option 2 would be always to pick your dirty clothes from the floor and put it in the basket. Ideally, we would like both of them to be happening, but just I'm saying this as an example, that giving options that, hey, you can do A or B, allows the child to feel that they're included in the decision making, that they have a say, that they're not only expected to obey just because a parent asked them to do so. Now, this is more in context of Eastern part of the world, that they approach parenting a little bit differently from the Western part. And again, I do acknowledge that this is a gross generalization and it's not as simplistic as I'm making in this 5-minute video, but I hope that it gives you an idea that you can use the best of the two worlds in some way, and one of which is including the child to have more say and feel that they're also included and is part of the decision that you are making. I hope this video helps, and if you have any questions or comments, write it in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.